Milton James Brooks.
And where were you born?
I was born in Sturgis, South Dakota, but I lived about 60 miles east of Sturgis, out on the prairie.
And how many kids in the family?
There were 2 older sisters and 3 younger boys. I was the oldest of the 3 boys. Well, I lived out on the prairie until 8th grade. Then we moved to Sturgis, which was 60 miles away, and I went to high school there.
And what did you do for fun? What were some of the fun things you did there?
Well, bicycle, that was great, because we didn't, out on the prairie, we had no place to ride a bike, just gravel roads, and didn't have a bike until, in fact, I had a paper route to earn the money to buy a bike. And so it was that, and then we had BB guns, and we'd go up in the rocks and the hills around Sturgis, and it's a beautiful place. And that's about it, the thing that kids do.
Were there motorcycles in Sturgis then?
Not very many. I think the first motorcycle race I went to, they had races. They had an oval track motorcycle races. I think it may have been 1939. And then the big rally and the big gathering of motorcycles didn't occur until after the war, maybe in 47, 48, something like that. So they didn't have a motorcycle culture when I was there. It was kind of a horse culture.
So you were in Sturgis, and then what made you move from Sturgis all the way out to?
Well, my father died when I was 16, and jobs were so hard, and the pay was so poor. My mom worked in a place, made $1 or 10 cents an hour. So she actually made $1 a day. Very hard living in a laundry. So the family got in a car and headed for Bremerton, Washington, with a man that we knew. And there wasn't really room for me, so I came later on the bus in 1943. And but somehow his family was in Chehalis, Washington. So stopped in Chehalis and just stayed right there. And my mom got a job in a bus station. And then when I arrived here, I got a job with the state of Washington on the maintenance crew. So and then the very next year, about September, I went in the Navy. I was 17 and I could get in the Navy then. So then after I got out of the Navy, I came back to Chehalis. I was an aviation metalsmith. Went to school in Norman, Oklahoma for about 7 months. And came back to the Naval Air Station in Seattle and worked in the hangar on different kinds of planes, doing different things.
What model airplanes?
PBYs, F-4Us, F-6F, regular Navy planes.
Pretty cool.
So then you came back after the Navy, and then what did you do then?
Went to Chehalis.
Okay.
And went through a business college there to develop skills that for a job. And so I worked as a bookkeeper. Then I went to work in a men's store for your grandfather. And I was there about 10 years. And then we moved Rosemary, your mom, you and John, we moved to the north end of Seattle. And we're up there for a couple, 3 years, and then moved to Portland in 1963. And then in 1973, we moved to Salem for 3 years. Then back to Portland in 76, because during those years I worked for Joe Culhane, Safeguard Business Systems.
Okay.
And so the last 20 years of my life I was with Safeguard Business Systems. We had bookkeeping systems for all different kinds of businesses, usually small businesses, but we also had some computer services for dental, and we did financial reporting for accounting firms.
Okay.
And we had special systems for dental practices. And we did a lot with attorneys and job cost systems, and so it was worthwhile. I enjoyed that.
So you did that, and then when did you retire?
In 1993. And my wife had lived in Eugene most of her life, and she wanted to return there. So we moved to Eugene in 93, stayed there for 18 years. And that was a great place to retire to. So many things going on. And she had lots of friends at the university. So I enjoyed classes at continuing ed part of the university. And that was a big part of our lives for about 16 years. And we had...
Weren't you on kind of the starting end of that continuing education?
Yes, I was. It was formed, I think, about the time we moved there. And so Florence had friends who were involved in starting up learning in retirement, we called it. And so we joined, and we were charter members. And we had lectures from PhDs that taught at the university. And I said many, many years just. And I belonged to 2 reading groups and an art group, and enjoyed the lectures very much about the retired professors would lecture about the subject that they knew so much about. So we had geologists, psychologists, sociologists, and I particularly enjoyed lectures from the people in the English department. So it was really a nice place. And we very much enjoyed, we had 8 symphonies each year, 8 or 9, and then 3 ballets and 3 operas, and the music school was there too. So it was possible to entertain yourself in high style any day of the week, really. So a lovely place to retire.
Great. Do you have any questions you want to ask Ethan? Think of?
Oh yeah, I had a few kind of throughout it. What was the bookshop called again that you worked at for Great Grandpa Howard?
The men's
Men's store.
Oh, the men's store.
Bartell's Men's Store.
Bartell's men's store. And yeah, at the beginning I was wondering, what would you guys do with the BB guns? Would you guys just go to target practicing? Or?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we loved to shoot them, shoot at different things, and that was great fun.
How long again were you in the Navy for?
A little bit less than 2 years. Yeah.
And then it was Auburn, Washington. That's where you guys moved to in the
we lived there. We lived in Seattle for a couple of years. Then I returned to an accounting job in Chehalis. Then we moved back, went with the same company, but at that time we lived in Auburn. So
Okay.
that was before we moved down to Portland.
So this is a question for you as well. So the safeguard that you worked for, was it kind of? I mean, I don't know too much about Safeguard. I just know more about my dad's company, Express Checks. Was it this? Did you guys do the same type of thing? Do you know?
No, ours was accounting, bookkeeping,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That's cool.
financial reporting.
That's cool.
So
Good. Anything else you want to say in summary at all, or sum up? Your...
no, except that I'm 87 years old now, and I don't know why I have lived so long, because your mom died, you know, in 1985, and it's just a bad thing for. But anyway, you know, I just do the best I can. Keep plugging away.
Well, you're sharp. You remained in good health. So.
Well, the sharp part I'm not sure about. It's gradually slipping away.
Well, you are really good at painting. Very talented, I must say.
So anyway, that's about all I know.
Okay. Good. Anything else? I think that's good. That's awesome.